variety of shows, from some of the Chinese arts. There's so much that Chinese culture has to offer, and I think the variety of programs that we've created has been really good and a big eye-opener.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great learning process really for a couple of white guys like us to be engaged with this sort of ancient culture.
Yeah. But it's a cross-cultural program. We're a cross-cultural team, and I really like Miss Sue's vision in sort of bringing that cross-culture together, and I think it's working great, and I really think that there's a very strong future for ZHONG HUA TV and Chinese culture in Australia.
我们中华电视的1周年庆典活动也就快要接近尾声了。那在活动结束之前呢，我想代表我自己，也代表电视机前的观众朋友，向您问一下，在未来的12个月里，您对中华电视的一些期待和展望，请跟我们大家说一说好吗？
好啊，中华电视已经开播1周年了。在过去的1年里，我们做了52期的电视节目，对华人社区、华人社团，还有很多华人，这对澳大利亚社会的贡献，我们做了采访，对很多文化活动也做了一些报道。那么在未来的1年里，我们中华电视还要一如既往的传播中华文化，对在澳洲生活的华人，他们为这个社会做的贡献，对中华文化在澳洲社会的传播，做真实的记录，用我们的摄像机，把我们华人在澳洲社会的生活真实的记录下来，传播出去，让这个社会增加对华人的了解，对中华文化的了解，为中华文化在澳洲的传播做出我们的一点奉献。也希望有更多的观众能够关心我们，参与到我们的节目制作当中来，和我们一起来推广和传播中华文化。谢谢大家。
好，谢谢您。希望我们可以一起努力，共同传播中华文化。
澳大利亚中华文化艺术委员会的艺术家，用自己的生命经历传承中华文明，不为真情，不嫌清苦，不如祖宗，在生活中传教艺术，在生命里谱写艺术。中华艺术委员会用艺术美传扬中华。
Okay, Katrina, this is the part of the show where we get to ask one another a question.
Sure.
So I've got one question for you. Katrina, as a young Chinese person here in Australia, I'm just wondering how much young Chinese people engage with media like ZHONG HUA TV. How important is Chinese media to young Chinese?
Well, okay, personally, I came to Australia when I was 15, so quite a young age. And I do find a lot of my friends who grew up here in Australia, their Chinese culture is losing every year, or they don't really know anything about the Chinese culture. And having a ZHONG HUA TV, a Chinese TV station like ZHONG HUA TV here in Australia, a multicultural society, I think is really useful and really necessary because it opens a channel for those Chinese people who grew up in Australia to learn more about our culture, our mother tongue, as well as the 5,000 years long history of China.
Yeah, of course. So, do you have a question for me, Katrina?
Yes, I do actually, Paul. So here in ZHONG HUA TV, as I said before, it's a TV station that have different cultural backgrounds, China and Australia. So do you have any difficulties to communicate with this in these communication barriers?
Yeah. I know what you're
having
saying.
like language barriers, and talk about
Look,
that.
that's a really interesting and valid question, because obviously ZHONG HUA TV is a cross-cultural bilingual TV station, and I don't speak a word of Chinese.
Yes.
So, you'd think that would be pretty difficult. But I guess this is my reflection, that when we're growing up and in our social lives generally, we tend to stick to our own ethnic groups, and that doesn't mean we're racist or anything, it's just how it tends to happen, And so you kind of form weird views about what Chinese people are like, what English people are like, etc. But when you meet people, as we do here on ZHONG HUA TV every week, you see that yes, there are cultural differences between Chinese and Western people, but the differences are that much of the cake. The similarities between you and me and Miss Sue is that much of the cake. So it's when people meet people that, magic really happens, and I guess that's what ZHONG HUA TV is all about.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And so while we at ZHONG HUA TV enjoy our birthday cake, we'd like to thank you, the viewers, for taking this incredible journey with us. We've had a fantastic first year, and we hope that you can join us next week for the start of the second big year of ZHONG HUA TV.
又到了和大家说再见的时候了，感谢您收看中华电视，我们下期见。Once again, it is time to say goodbye from ZHONG HUA TV. Hope you enjoyed our program, and we will see you next week.